Hello everyone! Now that Awesome Games Done Quick is over, I can imagine there are a bunch of you out there that are interested into getting into speedrunning, but you have a hard time deciding what game you want to speedrun. So today I'm gonna give you 5 tips for 5 beginner-friendly speedruns that you can start with. But before I get into that, I want to talk a little bit more about mindset that you should have when you decide what to speedrun. Pick a game that you really enjoy. Maybe check out the speedrunning community for that game to see if it has different categories and decide which one of those categories you want to do. Or it might even be a category that's not existent, but there's something that you, well, a way for you how you want to play the game, but it's not on the leaderboard, so to say. So yeah, just find something that you really enjoy, and preferably like a game that has a community so you can watch others run the same game. And it's also really nice if you find like a rival or a friend that runs the same game, so you can race each other and motivate each other to get better. The next tip is different from person to person, but personally I don't think you should focus too much on world records right away. Like, it's good to look at the records and try to implement as much as you can, but when you start off, I don't think you should start with the mindset of like, oh, I'm gonna get the record, because there's a pretty big chance that you get like a backlash, or what you want to call it, that maybe if you don't get your desired results immediately, and then you kind of get depressed or like get down about it, and it's holding you back. But it's different. Like, it's also, on the other hand, it's also good to focus on like that you want to get the record, because that's gonna motivate you and push you to do better. And but yeah, it's different from person to person. I personally just like to start a game and see how I feel about it, and if I feel that good enough about it, I go for record. But I never really start with it as the goal. It happens if it happens. Okay, enough about that. Let's move on to my 5 recommendations for 5 beginner-friendly speedruns that you can start with. My first recommendation is Ducktales on the NES. It's a very straightforward platformer, and you don't have to learn a whole lot before you can start doing runs. Besides the moon skip that you do in the very first stage, and all you have to do to get that skip is pretty much walk up to the wall, turn your back against it, get a damage boost, and you will go through. Or if you want to do the fast version that you can see me doing here in my video, which is a little bit harder, but overall it's a very, very straightforward run, and basically just boss RNG that you need to grind out to get a good time. Next up we have Ducktales 2. Also on the NES, and also a platformer just like the first game. Same type of game pretty much, a very straightforward platformer, some boss RNG that you need to grind out for a good time, but other than that, just like you just learn where to run, where to go, like where to jump, and it's pretty a very fast learn, I would say, and not that hard to execute. So hope you'll give this game a try. It's a really good one, and I do like the controls better in this game, but I prefer the first game, probably because of nostalgia, because I grew up with the first game, and just music is better in the first game, I think. But both DuckTales games are really solid speedruns, I think. Next up is Trojan, also on the NES. It's like a side-scroller arcade game, not really sure how to explain it, but yeah, it's like basically you hold right, go through the stage, beat up some bad guys. The bad thing about this one though is that you jump with the up button on the D-pad, and jumping is faster in this game, so if you're doing like long sessions or yeah, you might feel like you might get like a Nintendo fun from repetitive jumping in the game, but it's a short run. It's a fun game, and has some challenges to it with how to move through the stages and doing some nice boss kills. But it's not that hard to learn. It's a roughly 7-minute long speedrun if you get like a good time. So yeah, another fast learn run, and no real tricks that you have to learn. It just grind out RNG, which there's a ton of RNG in this game, sadly, but it's a really good speedrun nonetheless, and I hope you'll give it a try. Okay, recommendation number 4 is The Little Mermaid on the NES. You can see a little theme going on here with NES runs, but yeah, that's I think they're a very good starting point for your speedrunning career. But yeah, Little Mermaid, another like side-scroller, hard to explain what you want to call it really, but this game does have like a lot of RNG, which is randomness. If I didn't explain that earlier, if you don't know the term RNG, but yeah, it does have a lot of RNG in boss fights, but other than that, it's a very, very straightforward. Like, you just learn where to swim, like learn in which height you want to swim, and just hold right pretty much, and that's about it. There's not a whole that's not a whole lot to learn about this run actually, and it's very short. Also, like another 7-minute roughly run if you get a good time in it. And but yeah, music is cozy, like it's a chill speedrun. I highly recommend it. Yeah, give it a try. Okay, my last recommendation here. I saved the best for last, I think, and it's Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers on the NES. Another amazing platformer with good music and fun gameplay. Lots of boss fights that you have to learn, and that's a good thing about this speedrun, because there's a way to manipulate, like normally the bosses have RNG, but if you let the intro in the beginning when you boot up the game, if you let that intro roll one time before you start your game, then you lock your RNG seed. So by doing that, you can practice, like you will know which patterns the boss fights will have, and you will have an easier time practicing for what you need to do for the speedrun. Other than that, yeah, like awesome platforming. This game is probably, I would say it's the hardest one on this list, but it's still very beginner friendly. And like this game introduces more about damage boosting and to go fast and stuff like that. But yeah, this is I think this is a game that comes to mind to a lot of, like, at least some people I know, like NES community. This is a very like highly recommended speedrun to start with, and I totally understand why. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this little video, and good luck with your speedrunning. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. I'll leave a link in the description. I have a like, if you didn't like these 5 games, but you're looking for something else, I'll leave a link to a Google Doc with all my speedruns that I've done. I've been speedrunning since 2013, so it's almost 9 years now. Or, well, we're getting close to like the 9-year anniversary. And I have like over 100 different speedruns that I've done over the years, and with links to, well, the Google Doc have links to all the runs I have footage of. So maybe you'll find something else there. But yeah, let me know what you think of this video down in the comments, or was it helpful? I hope it was. I'll also leave some links to some my Twitter and Twitch, where you can find me as well. Thank you so much for hanging out today, and yeah, good luck, have fun with the speedruns. Bye bye.